British news broadcaster BBC has suspended one of its top anchors. This comes amid allegations that the news presenter paid a teenager thousands of dollars to pose for sexually explicit photos. According to The Sun newspaper, the teenager's mother claimed that the news anchor had paid over $45,000 over 3 years for the pictures. The teenager allegedly used the cash for drugs and became a drug addict. The BBC says it has became aware of the complaint in May. The US military has said that it killed a leader of the ISIL group in Syria. The US conducted a drone strike and killed Osama AlMuhajid. According to the US Central Command, no civilians were injured. It also said that the drone used in the strike was the one that had been harassed by a Russian aircraft. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said that he would back Sweden's NATO bid if the EU resumes membership talks with Ankara. Turkey first applied to be a member of the European Union in 1987 when it was called the European Economic Community. It became an EU candidate country in 1999. It formally launched membership talks with the bloc in 2005. However, the negotiations stalled in 2016 over Europe's concern about Turkey's human rights violations. US President Joe Biden met British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in London. Biden said that the relationship between the UK and the US is rock solid. Biden is currently on a three-nation tour through Europe. The UK is the first leg of his trip. Biden will head to Lithuania and Finland after the UK. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has arrived in Latvia's Riga. This comes ahead of a highly anticipated NATO summit which will be held in nearby Lithuania. Ever since Russia invaded Ukraine, the Baltic states requested higher troop deployments. The Prime Minister of the Solomon Islands, Manasseh Sogavare, met Chinese Premier Li Qiang in Beijing. Manasseh attended a welcome ceremony at the Great Hall of People. This is Sogavare's first trip to China since the two countries signed a security deal. During the week-long trip, Sogavare will open the Solomon Islands Embassy in Beijing. Germany is set to send troops to Australia. The German troops will participate in joint drills with 30,000 service members from 12 other nations. About 240 German troops, including 170 paratroopers and 40 Marines, will take part in an exercise called Talisman Sabre. This is the largest drill held by Australia and the US biannually. In recent years, Germany has shown a great military presence in the Indo-Pacific region. North Korea has accused the United States of violating its airspace by conducting surveillance flights. Pyongyang has warned that it is exercising restraint, but flights may be shot down. Meanwhile, South Korea's military has called the North's claims false. 2 weeks ago, North Korea held rallies in Pyongyang showing posters with missiles hitting the United States. A stabbing attack has taken place in China's Guangdong province. At least 6 people have been killed and 1 has been injured. A 25-year-old man was suspected of carrying out the attack. The incident has raised concerns about violence against children at schools in China. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu summoned his Attorney General on Sunday. The two were in a cabinet meeting to discuss how the police have been dealing with the ongoing protests. Netanyahu said that people have the right to demonstrate peacefully. However, his government has demanded a report on the policy regarding violations of the law. People across Israel have been protesting against Netanyahu's judicial overhaul plan for several weeks now. The French police arrested the brother of a black man who died in police custody in 2016. This happened during a march against police brutality. The demonstration was called by the family of Adama Traore. He was 24 years old when he died in police custody. The police said that the march was likely to attract radical elements to commit acts of violence. Thousands of protesters took to the streets in the Caribbean nation of Haiti. The demonstrators blocked roads in Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. They demanded that their government put an end to criminal gang violence. This comes as heavily armed gangs have been engaged in a turf war in the Caribbean nation. Over 165,000 people have been internally displaced in Haiti due to the violence.
Last year they increased school fees.
Torrential rain lashed Japan's southern Fukuoka prefecture on Monday. One woman in her 70s has been killed after a landslide hit her house. Meanwhile, 3 other people have gone missing. The land ministry confirmed that the rains have flooded at least 8 rivers and caused a dozen mudslides in the region. Heavy rains have lashed the northern part of India. In the northern state of Himachal Pradesh, huge torrents of floodwater rushed by buildings. Landslides and flash floods damaged several houses in the region. Meanwhile, the country's capital, New Delhi, also experienced heavy rainfall. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued a red alert to various North Indian states due to the adverse weather. It is the country's highest level of warning. The northern part of America's New York City received almost 1 foot of rainfall. Videos show torrential water approaching houses and vehicles half submerged in water. The police have closed roads and issued a rare flash flood emergency. Residents have been asked to move to higher ground and avoid traveling.
Oh, what is this big piece of wood coming? Right.
Severe rains have swept 3 northeastern provinces in China. Some areas have been struck by hailstorms, flash flooding and mud flow. Many rivers have exceeded their warning levels after a round of heavy downpour. The country's meteorological authorities renewed a blue alert for rainstorms in the country. It's the lowest of a 4-tier weather warning system. Meanwhile, parts of northern China are experiencing a searing heat wave. Authorities have upgraded warnings of hot weather and issued an orange alert. They've also cautioned residents against persistent high temperatures of around 40 degrees Celsius. In Germany's capital Berlin, streets and open squares were left empty amid a scorching heat. Temperatures have been in the range of 30 degrees Celsius. Weather warnings have been issued by the German Weather Service for most of the country. According to German weather forecasts, the heat is due to stay until the middle of next week. South Africa's Johannesburg saw a rare snowfall on Monday. Residents woke up to unusual scenes of fluffy white snowflakes. While the city often experiences a few months of winter chills, snowfall of this magnitude is a rare occurrence. Hundreds of divers and snorkelers listened to an underwater concert. The performers, dressed as mermaids, advocated for the protection of coral reef. This was during the Lower Keys Underwater Music Festival. It took place at the Louis Key Reef, an area of the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary in the US state of Florida. China has published a set of rules for the supervision of its private investment funds market. The regulation aims to encourage the standardization and development of the sector. It will also seek to better protect the rights and interests of investors. The rules come into effect from September this year. Chinese authorities have announced a fine of nearly $1 billion for Jack Ma's Ant Group. The penalty amounts to one of the largest ever fines for an internet company in China. The Ant Group and its subsidiaries had allegedly violated laws and regulations related to corporate governance and money laundering, among other things. According to reports, Kering paid nearly $4 billion to purchase French fragrance label Creed. Kering is the parent company of famous luxury brand Gucci. Last month, it struck a deal to buy Creed to create an in-house cosmetics business. However, back then, details of the transaction were not made public. The deal is expected to close in the second half of this year. The CEO of British Telecom Services, BT, is planning to step down. Philip Jansen has said that he will step down within the next year. He had taken over as the telecom firm CEO in 2019. The company has started the hunt to replace Jansen. Argentina's inflation is expected to remain in triple digits. This is according to analysts polled by the South American nation's central bank. They forecast this year's annual inflation to stand at 142.4%. However, this is less than their previous forecast of nearly 149%. Argentina's slumping economy has been hammered by sky-high inflation as its currency is also steadily weakening. The Bank of International Settlements has laid out a detailed plan to improve the security of central bank digital currencies. The BIS acts as an umbrella body for all central banks across the globe. Lately, it has been working on CBDC development. The BIS has called on central banks to adopt modern technology and identify areas of improvement to enhance the security of CBDCs. Fast food chain McDonald's has dropped tomatoes from its burgers and wraps in India. The company is concerned about the vegetables' quality amid a supply shortage. This has also sent tomato prices soaring. In some regions, wholesale prices of tomatoes have surged 288% in a month. Nearly 900 Amazon workers in Britain will stage a strike in the coming week over pay disputes. The strike will take place for 3 days from July 11th till the 13th at Amazon warehouses. This coincides with the company's Prime Day sales event. Lebanon has unveiled its first locally made solar electric car called Lyra. This marks a breakthrough in the country's automobile industry. The car runs on solar energy during the day and recharges itself. At night, it can be charged with electric batteries and does not require a power station. Lyra aims to reduce transportation costs and support Lebanon's struggling economy. Robots have said that they will not steal human jobs or rebel against humanity. This was during the world's first human-robot press conference. The conference was held on the sidelines of the AI for Good Global Summit in Geneva. The summit concluded last week. Moving to sports. In cricket, India will send both its men's and women's teams to the Asian Games. India's Shikhar Dhawan will lead the men's squad. The competition will clash with the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023, which will be hosted by India. The Board of Control for Cricket in India, or BCCI, said a second-string Indian team will participate in the men's competition. The 2023 Asian Games will be held in China in the months of September and October. Sri Lanka won the Cricket World Cup qualifier tournament in Zimbabwe. They beat the Netherlands by 128 in the finals to lift the trophy. Both the teams have already qualified for the upcoming 50-over World Cup. Sri Lanka has qualified for every Cricket World Cup since the tournament started in 1975. In football, goalkeeper David De Gea bids farewell to the English Premier League's club Manchester United after 12 years. The Spaniard is leaving the club after his contract expired on the 30th of June. De Gea took to social media to announce his exit. However, he's still in talks with the English club over a possible contract extension. De Gea joined Man United in 2011. He has played over 500 matches for the club. Former Barcelona player Luis Suarez died at the age of 88. He's the only Spanish-born player to have won the Ballon d'Or. Suarez joined Barca in 1955. He's considered one of the greatest Spanish football players in history. In tennis, world number 2 Novak Djokovic secured a 2-set lead in his 4th round at Wimbledon. However, the match was suspended midway due to a curfew. He secured both the sets in tie breaks against Poland's Hubert Hurkacz. The winner will play against Russian 7th seed Andrei Rublev in the quarter-finals. World number 1 Carlos Alcaraz has entered the round of 16 at Wimbledon. Spain's Alcaraz beat Chile's Nicolas Jarry in 3 out of 4 sets. Alcaraz started strong, winning the first set 6-3. Jarry came back to win the second set 7-6. However, the Spaniard displayed some masterclass shots to win the next 2 sets 6-3, 7-5. Alcaraz will now play Italy's Matteo Berrettini in the next round. Belarusian player Victoria Azarenka lost to Ukraine's Elina Svitolina at Wimbledon on Sunday. After the match, the Belarusian was booed by spectators. This is after she refused to shake hands with her Ukrainian opponent. After the incident, Azarenka said she was treated unfairly. World number 1 Iga Świątek has reached the Wimbledon quarter-final. Poland's Świątek beat Switzerland's Belinda Bencic in the round of 16 yesterday. The Swiss player won the first round 7-6, but Świątek came back to win the next 2 sets 7-6, 6-3. Świątek will next face Ukraine's Elina Svitolina on Tuesday. In badminton, India's Lakshya Sen has clinched this year's Canada Open. He beat China's Li Shifeng to win the men's singles title. Sen beat Feng 21-18, 22-20 in a thrilling clash. This was Sen's second Badminton World Federation Super 500 title in his career. Last year, he won the India Open to clinch his maiden Super 500 title. In Formula 1, Red Bull's Max Verstappen won the British Grand Prix on Sunday. McLaren's Lando Norris secured the second position. Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton finished third to complete the podium. With this win, Red Bull has now equaled McLaren's 1988 record of 11 consecutive victories. The next race of the 2023 F1 World Championship is the Hungarian Grand Prix on the 23rd of July. Moving to entertainment, Warner Brothers has reacted to Vietnam's decision to ban the Barbie movie. A spokesperson said, and I quote, "The map in Barbie Land is a childlike crayon drawing. The doodles depict Barbie's make-believe journey from Barbie Land to the real world. It was not intended to make any type of statement." The controversy began over a map depicted in the film. It showed China's claim over the South China Sea. Vietnam said it violates its sovereignty. K-pop band BTS have released their first book titled Beyond the Story 10-Year Record of BTS. The book follows the band's journey from their pre-debut era to the present and also gives a glimpse into their future plans. Each member of the band also opened up about the obstacles they had to face along the way. The book celebrates BTS's 10-year anniversary. It was released on Army Day, the day that marks the formation of their fandom called the Army. Singer Taylor Swift recently met actor Taylor Lautner and his wife Taylor Dome. Swift invited Lautner and Dome on stage for a surprise appearance during her Eras Tour concert in the US state of Missouri. The three Taylors also recreated their own version of a famous Spiderman meme. Swift and Lautner briefly dated when they were teenagers. Lautner is believed to be the inspiration behind Swift's famous song Back to December. American boy band the Jonas Brothers have collaborated with Korean boy band TXT. The two bands worked together on a new song called Do It Like That. The music video of the song has been released on various social media platforms. It already has more than 2 million views on YouTube. American singer Lana Del Rey has broken her silence over her controversial Glastonbury show, which was cut short. The singer started the show late and was accused of breaching the strict festival curfew. It apparently forced the organizers to turn off her mic. During her Sunday performance in London, the singer said, "This is where I got cut off last time, sorry about that." Lana Del Rey is famous for her hit songs like Summertime Sadness and Diet Mountain Dew. British singer Elton John has put an end to his live music career. The 76-year-old artist has said that he will never be touring again, but may do a one-off thing sometime. The singer will now be spending more time with his husband David Furnish and their sons Zachary and Elijah. While retiring from his live music career, Elton John said that his priorities have changed. Korean singer Lee Sang Yoon has died at the age of 46. Reports claim that she was found dead in a washroom right before a performance. She was to perform at the 33rd regular concert of the Gimcheon Municipal Choir. Authorities have launched an investigation into the case. Marvel star Simu Liu has shared an update on his latest film, Shang-Chi. He said that the movie keeps getting pushed back due to circumstances beyond his control. The actor conducted an Ask Me Anything session on his Threads account. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the first film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to feature an Asian lead and predominantly Asian cast. American actor Jamie Foxx has made his first public appearance after he faced health complications. The actor was hospitalized in April over undisclosed health issues. The Oscar-winning actor was hospitalized in the US state of Georgia, where he was present to film his Netflix movie called Back in Action. A transgender woman has been crowned Miss Universe Netherlands for the first time. 22-year-old Ricky Valerie Cole won the pageant on Saturday. She can now compete in the upcoming Miss Universe competition slated for later this year. Ricky Valerie Cole said her journey had many challenges, but she found support and affection from her family.